The message from my sister, Chloe, popped up while I was in the middle of a top secret meeting. Emergency family dinner tonight. Dad's super mad about your online profile, says you're wasting your life. Heads up, they have presentations ready. 7 p.m. sharp. I looked around the fancy meeting room on the 60th floor of my company's main office. 12 of the most important tech leaders were talking about our newest big purchase. If only my family knew that while they were making slides about job hunting, I was setting up a huge $3.8 billion company deal. "Everything okay, Miss Gilliam?" asked Mark, my money guy, seeing I was a little distracted. "Just family stuff," I replied, putting my phone away. "Now, about the super-fast computer part of the company." 6 hours later, I drove my plain old sedan into my parents' circular driveway, parking between Dad's fancy sports car and Mom's luxury SUV. The house, a huge old mansion in the fanciest part of town, looked exactly the same as when I left 3 years ago to find myself, or as they saw it, throw away my business degree and a promising job. The housekeeper, Maria, opened the door before I could even knock. "Miss Angel," she whispered, "they've been practicing their speeches all afternoon." I smoothed down my carefully chosen outfit, simple jeans and a worn-out sweater that actually cost a fortune. It was the perfect costume for a struggling business owner, just right for tonight's show. My family was all in the formal dining room. Dad was at the head of the table, looking very much like a CEO. Mom was to his right, with a pile of papers in front of her. Chloe and her husband, Ben, were on one side, and my brother Sam and his wife, Olivia, were on the other. The big TV on the wall was tuned to the business news channel, Dad's constant friend. "Angel," Mom said, getting up to kiss my cheek, her expensive bracelets jingling, "you look comfortable." I took my assigned seat, the hot seat, at the opposite end of the table from Dad. A projector screen was set up behind him. This was going to be quite a show. "Let's get straight to the point," Dad began, using his serious boardroom voice. "Your behavior has become worrying. This little company of yours, Future Tech Solutions," sarcastic, "has gone on long enough." I added helpfully, 2 years of vague talks about amazing new tech and working in secret. Meanwhile, your friends are moving up in their jobs." Chloe quickly jumped in. "Sarah Chen just became a partner at a big firm, and David Lee is leading a huge bank's Asia division." Sam added, Mom slid a folder across the table. I took the liberty of putting together some opportunities. "Mr. Johnson at a big investment bank specifically asked about you." I opened the folder, pretending to look at the job listings while secretly checking the time on my watch. A test version of my super-fast computer device was worth more than this entire house. "The help stops now," Dad announced, clicking to his first presentation slide. "No more money for your rent." "I pay my own rent," I interrupted. "In that tiny apartment in the tech district?" Olivia scoffed. "We all know new companies don't pay their founders much at the start." If only they knew that I owned the entire tech district through different companies, or that my tiny apartment was actually a cover for my real home, the top 3 floors of the city's most exclusive building. "Your trust fund will be frozen," Dad continued, "until you show you can handle money by taking a proper job." I bit back a smile. The trust fund he was threatening to freeze was less than what my company earned in interest every single hour. "Angel," Mom leaned forward, "we're worried about you. This isn't like you, hiding your work, being so secret about your company. What exactly does Future Tech Solutions even do?" Before I could answer, the TV behind them caught my eye. The news ticker changed and a breaking news alert flashed across the screen. "Breaking: Wall Street Journal to reveal identity of mysterious Future Tech Solutions founder." My phone buzzed. Mark texting, "All systems go, article dropping in 3, 2, 1. "No more support until you get a real job," Dad announced firmly, just as Mom pushed the job ads closer to me. That's when every phone in the room lit up with the same news alert. The TV anchor's voice cut through the silence. "Breaking news. The Wall Street Journal has just revealed the identity of Future Tech Solutions founder, the secret power behind what's being called the most revolutionary technology company since the invention of the internet, 28-year-old Angel Gilliam. The room froze. 6 heads snapped toward the TV where my professional picture now filled the screen. Angel Gilliam has built a super-fast computing empire valued at $12.4 billion, making her the youngest self-made billionaire in history. Sources confirm major deals with the Space Agency, the Department of Defense, and leading tech giants. Mom's water glass slipped from her hand, shattering on the fancy marble floor. Dad's presentation clicker clattered on the table. Chloe's phone dropped into her soup. That's impossible, Sam stammered, frantically searching on his phone. You work in a shared office space. You drive an old car. I pulled out my actual phone, not the fake one I usually carried to family events, as it started lighting up with messages from world leaders, tech CEOs, and journalists. Actually, I said, standing up, I own that shared office space, and the building it's in, and most of that neighborhood. The car is just practical. Why waste money on flashy cars when you can invest in future technology? 12 billion? Ben whispered, his face pale. 4, I corrected, though that value is from last week. It's probably higher now. Olivia, who had been furiously scrolling through news articles, looked up in shock. The Pentagon just confirmed a $5 billion deal. They're calling your super-fast encryption the most important breakthrough in national security history. Angel, Mom finally found her voice. Why didn't you tell us? I straightened my plain sweater, which probably cost more than their monthly house payment. You never asked. You were too busy telling me what I was doing wrong to notice what I was doing right. My phone buzzed again. The president's chief of staff asking for an urgent meeting about our latest defense tech. I need to take this. But before I left, I reached into my bag and pulled out 6 thick folders, dropping them on the table. These are non-disclosure agreements. If you want to know what Future Tech Solutions actually does, you'll need to sign them. Standard procedure. NDAs for family? Chloe scoffed. Especially for family, I smiled. After all, Dad, isn't that what you always taught me about protecting valuable things? The TV continued its coverage. Revolutionary, super-fast computing breakthroughs, major impact on artificial intelligence, secret codes, and space travel. The most successful secret company in modern history. Oh, and Dad, I paused at the door, about freezing my trust fund? No need. I gave it all to fund super-fast research scholarships last year. All 12 million of it. I figured someone else could put it to better use. I left them there, surrounded by their presentations and shattered ideas, while their phones exploded with messages from friends and coworkers about their suddenly famous family member. The job ads lay forgotten on the table next to Dad's now useless presentation about smart career choices. This was just the beginning. They had no idea what was coming next. The morning after the big reveal was pure chaos. My real office, a 3-story penthouse command center with amazing city views, was buzzing with activity. Screens showed real-time data from our super-fast computer centers worldwide, while my team handled the flood of calls, partnership offers, and media requests. The president wants a private meeting, Mark reported, handing me my 4th coffee of the day. The Pentagon is sending a group, and the Space Agency's director is literally begging for our space project to be sped up. I nodded, looking at how the global markets were reacting on the main screen. And the family situation? Interesting developments there. He pulled up a moving 3D display, one of our special technologies. Your father's company, Global Enterprises, has lost 12% of its value since yesterday. Investors are wondering why they missed partnering with Future Tech Solutions when they had the chance. That made me smile. 2 years ago, I had given Dad a detailed plan to update Global Enterprises' old systems. He dismissed it as unproven technology and told me to learn the basics of business first. My phone lit up with Chloe's face, the 15th call since breakfast. This time I answered, The country club is in absolute chaos, she blurted. Mrs. Smith, you remember the one who told Mom you were wasting your potential at last year's fancy party? She's having a meltdown. Apparently, her husband's investment firm passed on Future Tech Solutions' first funding round. How unfortunate for them, I replied, watching our stock price climb another 3%. And Mom, oh God, Mom is simultaneously thrilled and furious. She's already redecorated the family room to display every magazine with your face on it, but she's also crying about missing all the important moments. I glanced at the magazine cover proofs my PR team had just sent over. The Tech Queen, How Angel Gilliam Revolutionized Technology. The photo shoot had been last month. I told my family I was at a job fair. Speaking of important moments, I said, you might want to warn Dad about tomorrow's Financial Times article. They did a deep dive into how global enterprises rejected our partnership offer. The headline isn't flattering. Chloe got quiet. How bad? Legacy CEO's billion-dollar blunder, the partnership that could have saved global enterprises. Jesus, Angel. Dad's going to learn a valuable lesson about underestimating people. Yes, I expect he will. After hanging up, I turned to Mark. How's Operation Legacy going? He grinned, pulling up encrypted files. Right on schedule. Through our hidden companies, we now control 28% of global enterprises' shares. Another 15% is ready to be bought next week. Make it 20%. I stood, straightening my actual clothes, a custom-made suit that cost more than my fake apartment's yearly rent. Time to speed things up. The next few hours were a blur of smart moves. The White House meeting was set. The space agency deals were expanded. 3 more super-fast computing breakthroughs were announced. Our stock jumped another 8%. Then came the call I'd been waiting for. Angel, Dad's voice was strained. The board is meeting tomorrow. Our main investors are worried about our technology, about our future. How worried? I let the silence stretch, remembering all the times he lectured me about real business leadership at family dinners. Enough to suggest new leadership might be needed? I may have a solution, I finally said. Future Tech Solutions could consider a strategic investment under certain conditions. Conditions? Full management change, complete technology integration, and a new board structure. More silence. Then you planned this, didn't you? All of it. Dad, you taught me to think strategically, to find weak spots in the market, to grab opportunities. I watched our latest super-fast processor test results stream across my screens. I just used those lessons more effectively than you expected. The board meets at 10 a.m. I know. I'll be there. Oh, and Dad, wear your best suit. The news will be covering it. After hanging up, I turned to find Mark with new information. Your mother has called every society writer in town trying to explain why she never mentioned her daughter's little technology company before. Sam's wife is suddenly updating her online profile to show her connection to you. And that cousin who made fun of your hobby at Easter, he sent 17 job applications to our HR department. I smiled, adjusting my super-fast powered watch, worth more than their combined yearly incomes. Schedule a family dinner for next week. My treat. The fancy restaurant they could never get into. No, the one I bought last month. And Mark, make sure the private dining room displays our latest moving 3D technology. It's time they understood exactly what they've been dismissing as my little startup. The sun was setting over the city as I checked the final details for tomorrow's board meeting. On my screens, super-fast calculations that would change everything from space travel to artificial intelligence processed in real time. The technology they called unrealistic was already changing the world. My phone buzzed with a message from our moon base. Project Helios was ahead of schedule. Another from our super-fast encryption team. Breakthrough in teleportation theory. And a third from our AI division, consciousness transfer protocols ready for testing. Mark, I called as he headed out. One more thing. That list of companies that rejected our partnership offers over the past 2 years? Yes. He raised an eyebrow. Buy them. All of them. That's 27 companies across 6 continents. 28, actually. Global enterprises just made the list. I turned back to the city view, watching lights flicker on across the empire I'd built while they thought I was finding myself. It's time to show them what real business leadership looks like. The super-fast processors hummed softly in the background, calculating futures they couldn't even imagine. Tomorrow's board meeting wouldn't just change global enterprises, it would reshape the entire industry. And I was just getting started. The morning of the Global Enterprises board meeting arrived with perfect dramatic timing. Rain lashed against the windows of my super-fast luxury car as we pulled up to the company headquarters, the same building where 2 years ago, security had directed me to visitor parking for my failed partnership pitch. "Ms. Gilliam," the guard stammered, practically tripping over himself to open my door. "We've been expecting you." "Have you?" I handed him a tablet. "Here are your new security rules. My super-fast AI found 17 weak spots in your current system. Fix them." The lobby was chaos. News channels had set up cameras. Reporters huddled near the elevators. The stock ticker above the front desk showed Global Enterprises shares continuing to drop while Future Tech Solutions soared. "Ms. Gilliam," I handed him a tablet. "Here are your new security rules. My super-fast AI found 17 weak spots in your current system. Fix them." The lobby was chaos. News channels had set up cameras. Reporters huddled near the elevators. The stock ticker above the front desk showed Global Enterprises shares continuing to drop while Future Tech Solutions soared. My heels clicked against the marble as I crossed to the executive elevator, the same one Dad had once told me was for serious business leaders only, the same elevator where he'd suggested I learn the basics before trying to revolutionize anything. Chloe met me on the 50th floor. Her expensive suit couldn't hide her worry. "Angel, please, can we talk? The family's in crisis. Mom's been crying all night." And Dad is about to learn the difference between old ways and new ideas. I checked my super-fast watch, worth more than her house. "The board meets in 15 minutes. I suggest you prepare yourself." Prepare for what? The future. The executive floor hummed with nervous energy. Board members huddled in corners, whispering urgently. Dad's old friends avoided eye contact. Sam stood by the coffee machine, frantically checking stock prices on his phone. Mom appeared, perfect as always, except for the worry lines around her eyes. "Darling, whatever you're planning is already done." I nodded to Mark, who had appeared with our legal team. The paperwork was filed at dawn. The boardroom fell silent as I entered. 20 pairs of eyes watched me take my seat, not in the visitor's chair where I pitched my unrealistic ideas 2 years ago, but at the head of the table, Dad's chair. "This meeting will come to order," the board chairman announced, his voice shaking slightly. "We're here to discuss the survival of global enterprises." I interrupted, opening my super-fast laptop. The room's screens came alive with my presentation. Though survival might be optimistic at this point. I stood, commanding the room just as Dad had taught me, though never expecting I'd use these lessons against him. In the past week, Global Enterprises stock has dropped 37%. Market confidence is gone. Your technology is old, your market share is disappearing, and your competitors are growing while you stand still. Dad's face darkened. "Now see here. Your attempts at digital change have failed. Your AI projects are years behind schedule. And your cybersecurity?" I clicked to the next slide, showing a real-time picture of their weak spots. "Well, let's just say it's fortunate that Future Tech Solutions found these weaknesses before someone less friendly did." The board members shifted uncomfortably. They had seen the numbers. They knew the truth. "However," I continued, "there is a solution. Future Tech Solutions is prepared to offer a complete technological upgrade. Our super-fast computing platforms, our AI systems, our revolutionary encryption technology, all of it. We'll modernize every part of Global Enterprises' operations." Hope flickered across several faces. Then I delivered the knockout blow. As of this morning, Future Tech Solutions owns 53% of Global Enterprises shares. This isn't an offer, it's a notification. The merger paperwork has been filed, the press release goes out in 3 minutes. The room exploded. Dad slumped in his chair. Mom gasped. Sam dropped his phone. "You can't do this," one board member shouted. "This is business," I corrected, something this family taught me very well. "The shareholders will be pleased. Our stock is up 15% in pre-market trading just on merger rumors." I clicked to the final slide. The restructuring begins immediately. New board, new management, new direction. I turned to my father. "You always said global enterprises would be my inheritance someday. I just decided not to wait." The next hour was a blur of signatures, legal documents, and shocked expressions. By noon, I was CEO of both Future Tech Solutions and Global Enterprises. The empire I'd built had just taken over the one that had rejected me. As the board members filed out, I finally turned to my family. "Now, about dinner tonight." "Dinner?" Chloe looked dazed. "How can you think about dinner?" "Because I own the restaurant, and the building it's in, and most of this block, actually." I smiled. I thought it would be a good place to discuss the future of our family businesses, all of them. Mom stepped forward. "Angel, why didn't you tell us? All this secrecy, this elaborate plan." "Would you have listened? 2 years ago, I tried to tell you about super-fast computing's potential, about the future of technology. You all laughed, called it my hobby. Well, my little hobby just reshaped the entire industry." I gathered my things, ready to head to my first press conference as CEO of the merged companies. "Dinner's at 8, don't be late, and dress appropriately. Forbes wants family photos for next month's cover story." As I walked out, Dad called after me. "When did you become so ruthless?" I turned back one last time. "I learned from the best, Dad. You taught me that business is business. I just played the game better than you expected." The elevator doors closed on their stunned faces. My phone buzzed. Both companies' stocks were soaring. Mark appeared with my schedule. "The family dinner tonight," he said. "Should I arrange security?" "No need," I smiled. "Just make sure the photographers get my good side. After all, this is what a modern empire looks like." The sun was setting over the city as my car pulled away from Global Tower, my tower now. In the rearview mirror, I could see my family standing at the window watching me leave. But this time, I wasn't driving away in a borrowed car. This time, I was driving toward the future I'd built in a car that cost more than their annual bonuses combined. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just success. It's succeeding so spectacularly that those who doubted you have no choice but to acknowledge your victory. And as for that career intervention they planned, well, some interventions have unexpected outcomes.